Thank you to all of my wonderful patrons. What up, nerds? Welcome to the Nerdy Narrative. My name is Leslie Smith, and today on the channel is going to be my first book haul of 2025. Now, in the light of transparency, it was actually supposed to be a final book haul of 2024, but I have absolutely no idea what happened to that footage. I had some books that I received and they looked book shaped, so I wanted to open them on camera, get my reaction, all of that fun stuff like I used to do back in the day. If you've been around the channel for a while, you might remember some of those. And no idea what happened to the footage, which, as it turns out, 2025, one of the kicks in the teeth it's already delivered to me is our server. Oh, I know what it is now. We didn't know what it was until I think yesterday. A disk went bad in the server, and as a result, I haven't been able to access all of the footage that I filmed prior to that. It's sitting on the server. The server is down. I can't get to it until we get our new disc in, which has been ordered. So I'm just going to go ahead, refilm it, and get this one going on the channel, and it's now going to be the first one of 2025. That was the longest introduction ever to a simple book haul video. Let's talk about these books here. So I have what I'm going to show you all first are, I believe, all of the books that I got from publishers. I'm just going to start this one off. I'm so excited. This is one of my highly anticipated reads for 2025. Stephen Graham Jones is one of my most favorite authors ever. Everything of his is auto-buy. He is an author who has books that I own multiple copies of. I'm pretty sure I have every single version. No, there's a couple of versions of The Only Good Indians I don't have. I'm on my way to collect as many as I can of I Was a Teenage Slasher. That's my new favorite. And this one, The Buffalo... Hello, Milo. I don't know if y'all can see him on camera. No, I don't think so. Well, maybe I can show y'all him. There he is. He's just hanging out down there. Okay, now I'm not gonna be able to get this back. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have messed with it. Back to The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. This one is coming out in March of 2025. Saga Press let me have an ARC so that I can read it, get my review out there so I can let you all know. Stephen Graham Jones, it's gonna be great, but how great is it gonna be? Can't wait to tell you all about it. I'm going to buddy read this with my friend Evie from the channel She Was Only Evie, another huge fan of Stephen Graham Jones. This one is a chilling historical horror novel set in the American West in 1912. It follows a Blackfeet Indian named Good Stab and the Lutheran priest who transcribes his life, the Indian Good Stab, as he haunts the fields of the Blackfeet Nation looking for justice. So excited to read this one. So that one had to start this one off. Next, another highly anticipated read for me is A Deception of Courts by Ben Alderson. Now the first three books are out in this series. The fourth one, I believe, is coming out this month, January 2025. I love this author. I love this series. It's a fantasy. It's a romantasy, okay? It is. But it's not just that. That's just one of the things that I actually love most about this series. I love our main character, Robin Icethorn, who's half human, half fae. His powers were hidden from him, so as an adult, a young adult, he's thrust into the world of the fae as the sole remaining heir to the magic of the Winter Court. There's a lot going on. There's tons of political intrigue. There's assassination attempts because there was this war brewing between, they were on the edge of battle, an edge of war, of going to war against the humans, the Fae. And Robin just kind of messed up a lot of people's plans on both sides, the humans and the Fae. And then there's his love life. You know, things can never just not be messy. When your world is upended, it's just upended on all fronts, and that includes, I don't know, maybe his love life not going to be messy in this one. I don't know what I want. Every time I think I know what I want for this character, the author changes my mind. So very excited to read that one and continue the series. Book 4, like I said, out this month. That, A Deception of Courts, was sent to me by my friends at Angry Robot Books. I am so glad that I took a chance on this one. I didn't know anything about it. I had actually not known anything about the author, Ben Alderson, who is a fellow booktuber, and he originally self-published this series, and then Angry Robot said, you know what? I think we can help get this book out to more readers. I'm so glad they did, because that's how I found out about it, even though I love to read self-published books as well. Now, I have a stack here from my friends at Blackstone Publishing, and my goodness, they really hooked it up in that last box of the year. I was a part of their beta program called Blackstone Insiders. I have a lot of Blackstone books that I'll be showing you, talking about on the channel this year. We're going to start with Neil Tyson. I don't know how to pronounce. I know how to pronounce it. I can pronounce it in my head, but when I try to say it out loud, it just doesn't work. This is a re-release of Merlin's Tour of the Universe, a traveler's guide to blue moons and black holes, Mars, stars, and everything far. Look at this absolute gorgeous cover. I am such a... You put foil on a book cover and you're just going to get me. You're going to draw my eye to it. I like how it's written in a circle. One of my beloved friends that I had my senior year of high school, he was a transfer student from Sweden, signed my annual like this in a spiral, and that just took me back to a fun moment in my life. So I'm excited to read this one. This one wasn't on my radar, but it's a, like I said, it's a re-release, so I am absolutely going to be reading that one. This one here, All the Other Me by Jodi Holford. This one, an emotional page turner, beautifully written and lyrical, raw and witty at just the right moments. Now this one is going to be about main character Isabel. She Googles herself one day only to discover 3 other women her age with the same name, birth date, and familiar features. Too curious not to follow up on this rabbit hole, Isabel and her sister embark on a road trip that leads them back to their hometown and possibly repairing their relationship with each other. That's going to be a very interesting read. I don't know. What if you could see all the paths you never took? So that's going to be an exciting read. The next one here, What We Wish For by Melanie Masonette. Be careful what you wish for. 15-year-old Layla Freeman likes to pretend her life is fine. After all, her mother is about to celebrate 30 days sober, and yeah, they've moved into a homeless shelter, but it's only temporary, right? Her mom will get better, and in the meantime, it's important that no one at school find out where she's been living for the last month. I already know they're gonna find out. There's going to be some repercussions of that knowledge being made public. And so apparently Layla hatches a plan to get help from her rich aunt and uncle despite the long-standing feud between their families. So that might be a wholesome read. It might be about the trauma coming-of-age story for this teenager. Don't know. We're going to have to find out. Now this next one here is a Blackstone Publishing anthology. Shadow Lab is the name of it. Let's see. What do we have here? Okay, here we go. In Shadow Lab, a brilliant roster of speculative fiction writers pulls readers into a diverse and genre-blending collection of stories, each as irresistible as the last. So, looks like we have a short story from Nicholas Sansbury Smith, Helldivers, The Lost Years, Clouds, Brian Francis Slattery, In Her Eyes, Rebecca Webb. Okay, this is really interesting. I did not know Blackstone published anthologies or put together their own anthologies, so that's exciting to try that out, see how that one goes. And then the last one here, Weird Tales presents Nether Station, a novel of cosmic horror. Kevin J. Anderson! He's on my list, y'all. Someone long time ago, I want to say like 5 years ago, a booktuber, I don't think she is making videos anymore, told me about a sci-fi series. I want to say the name of it. The first book in the series was Hidden Enemies, maybe, by Kevin J. Anderson. I know Anderson is big in the community. I want to try this out. What do we got here? Space is vast. Space is full of wonders. Space is terrifying. That's why I love reading about space so much, especially horror stories, because we have no idea how big it is, what all is out there. Space terrifies me. You're never going to catch me going out there. If they ever make it affordable for the common person to go in space, you're not going to see me on there. So I'm excited. This will be my first Kevin J. Anderson. It's even blurred by Brandon Sanderson on the front. All right, now we're going to get into the books that I either got for Christmas or I bought myself with Christmas money, because we never... Wait a minute. There are some books that are not in this pile. Yes, there it is, right there. Okay. I remember I got 2 books as a Christmas gift from my friend Kate that I was like, oh my gosh, are they not in this pile? They are in this pile. So we're going to go over those. So we'll go with the gifts first. I am tremendously excited. My in-laws, y'all. I really hit the jackpot when it comes to in-laws. So they got me the One Piece. This is the second box set. There's currently, I think, 4 out. So they got me the second box set. I'm so excited. If you don't know, I don't know if there's been an update that's gone up recently about me rereading One Piece once again. My friend John over at Talking Story is reading the series for the first time, and I was invited to be part of a group that's going to discuss the series, I think in increments of like 9 books at a time, maybe more, depending on how much everyone is able to read. And I am so excited. I have a Shonen Jump subscription, $2.99 a month. I read all the manga I want to, but something about having it in your hands. And this time, as I'm going through, I've had the first box set for a while. I'm tabbing all of my favorite moments. I'm tabbing things like what each character, what their backstory is, so I can easily reference it. I'm also tabbing what their dreams are, what they're aspiring, what their mission in life is, what dream they're chasing, and what their treasure is. If you've read the series, you know how important all of these things are, so I'm so excited. Besides my in-laws, who else knows me best? That would be Kate from the Literary Apothecary. And how can I tell you she knows me good? I didn't even have this on my TBR. I forgot. I have seen this one listed so many times. I'm going, I have got to get my hands on a copy of that. This is Rainbringer. It's Zora Neale Hurston against the Lovecraftian myths. Edward Erdelak is the author on here. The oaths of secrecy Zora Neale Hurston swore and the terrifying physical and emotional ordeals she endured left their mark on her, and there were certain parts of her material which she never dared to reveal, even in scientific publications. So for those of you who don't know who Zora Neale Hurston is, one, she's a phenomenal writing, both in her fiction and her nonfiction works. What makes her nonfiction work so good is she puts a lot of herself into her work, but she was an anthropologist. She studied people, and she didn't just go to places like one of the books I read, Haiti and Jamaica. She didn't just go there and ask some locals some questions. She lived there. She lived in Haiti and Jamaica between those two for 3 months. She embedded herself into the culture. She lived there. She took part in ceremonies. She went to the church. She went to voodoo ceremonies and rituals and practices. And there were a lot of really hilarious things that happened to her. Y'all, I cannot recommend her enough. So Zora Neale Hurston is one of my favorite authors. And the fact that Kate saw this and thought, you know what? I know Leslie didn't have this and it needs to be in her collection. So thank you, Kate. And then she added to, I'm collecting the special edition of the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey. I've only picked up the first one so far. They are very pricey. She got me book 2 in that series, Caliban's War. Y'all, if you haven't seen these, you got the sprayed pages, you got the foiled book cover. Remember what I said about those at the beginning of the video? Not only that, the naked hardbacks are just absolutely to die for. I'm a big fan of having something on the naked hardback because when I read the book, I take the dust jacket off, and this will give me something entertaining to look at. We've got end pages that show the planets in the system. I am so thankful to have this next one. I'm not sure how many are out in the series now. I think they're putting out a couple a year. I think there's 3 more out right now. So I need to work on getting those. And now the rest here are all books that I bought with Christmas money for myself. The first one was an uh-oh. So I'm taking part in the Wars of Light and Shadow series read along with Brian from BellTube, John from Talking Story. I mean, y'all, there's a whole list of people that are going to be embarking on this journey. I'm going to list John from Talking Stories, one of his recent videos where he's outlining how this is going to work out. So I bought the first in the series, The Curse of the Mist Wraith, and did not realize I was getting mass market paperback. Yeah, so I've already purchased the digital copy for my Kindle, and then... So I put out a video, my weekly reads, talking about the snafu with this, and the author reached out and she was like, hey, I'm gonna send you a copy. I've been looking all over. I've been trying everywhere. eBay, Pango Books. Oh, what's the other one I was looking at? Y'all know what it is. You know what it is. It's, I can't remember. The app design for it is teal and the decoration for it is white. Thrift books. There we go. Finally got there. Nobody had either a trade paper size paperback, so I don't know if those existed, or a used copy of the hardback. I looked at a couple of used bookstores looking for it. So the author just came in clutch for me on that one. So excited to be reading that one. I'm recording it just a few days before I'm about to start reading that one, so I'm very excited. And then for whatever reason, I got Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. It was really a great price. I want to say it was less than $10. It's probably because the end pages are purple, if I'm just being honest. I really like the design of the chapter pages, if you can see. Things like that just entertain me. I don't know. It's the little things, y'all. It really doesn't take a whole lot to make me happy. Just something small. And I just realized this first book hasn't come in yet. So I got the hardback editions of the first 3 books that have been published by Ace Publishing for the Dungeon Crawler Call series by Matt Denneman. So I've got Carl's Doomsday Scenario, the Dungeons Anarchist Cookbook, and Book 1. So I went and purchased these from Barnes & Noble, and I just realized I never looked at the neck of the hardback. Oh my gosh! And they didn't have the first book, so I had to order it, but I took advantage of their half off book hardbacks in store sale. Y'all look, Carl's Doomsday Scenario has Boom on the front. Love that. And then the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook has the symbol on it for that. I am so excited. So I'm going to be rereading this series. The audiobook for book 7 will be out next month. I'm going to listen to that. Then I want to do a series reread. I'm going to be tabbing it like crazy. Just all of my favorite character moments, all of the things that made me laugh the most that I just can't stop rereading many times every time I come across. I cannot wait to go back through this series with a fine-tooth comb and just catalog everything that I love about it. So that is on the docket for this year, and I just could not be more excited. And that is it. That's the end of the physical book haul. On my Kindle, I picked up, as I mentioned, The Curse of the Mist Wraith. What else did I pick up? There was another one. There was one that Brian from BellTube recommended to me, and I picked it up immediately. It's something about Tana. Let's see if I can find it. The Tenacious Tale of Tana the Tender Sword by Dewey Conway. I picked that one up on my Kindle based on Brian's recommendation. And then I picked up on audio Murder from the North Pole Express by Patricia Meredith, which I still haven't been able to listen to yet because I have all these stupid ear problems. Hopeful though. I think when I go to my ear appointment next week, I think what his suggestion is going to be, based on what they were telling me on my update, is that he might can go in and like surgically take some cartilage and make a little flap to help cover that up and get things rolling, and maybe even get me some additional hearing back that I lost in the process, and I will be getting back on track with my audiobooks. But the problem also with that one is my husband and I listened to the first book in the series together, and we intended to listen to the second one, so we're gonna have to carve out some time to listen to that. We'll have to find something to do. We like that they come out at Christmas because we do so much traveling to see family. So I still haven't figured out how we're gonna do that, but we're going to do it somehow. And yes, it's way after the fact. I don't care. It can be Christmas every day. You can appreciate and take joy in the gift of giving every single day. And I just gave y'all the gift of looking at all these beautiful books with me and sharing in my joy that I'm going to be reading most of these this year. So that's it for this one. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I showed you some books that perhaps you hadn't heard about, you didn't know they were out, you want to pick them up, such as the Zora Neale Hurston one if you're a big fan of her work, or maybe one of the ones I talked about, the read along, you're going to jump in on that. Lots of exciting things to look forward to in 2025, the least of them being more books on the shelves. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks again to all of the Nerdy Narrative patrons, with a special shout out to my Nerds Radiant: Ev, Star, Sharon, Gail, Kate, John, Andrew, Chad, Amanda, Wilbur, and Tara.